Geez, how old are you? I stopped peeing the bed when I was 2 years old. Faceless, there's no comfort or bliss that comes from a piss pillow unless you're a sicko.
Okay, let's go to the Idaho allegations, which also
that's a good segue.
because it also has to do with women ignorance. So, oh shit, I'm sweating. All right, so
Okay, so you guys, what I'm going to do here is this is kind of going off what one of the things Lana said on her post yesterday or today about the fact that Bryan, these were all made up accounts that popped up. They're saying that Bryan knew these girls, when indeed I don't believe he did at all. So this is going to tell you right here, this guy, about a made up post that happened, and then all of the posts underneath, like some of the information like I got early on underneath this guy's stuff. See, I didn't know about this part that he's going to talk about here. I didn't know this yet. I'm just finding it out. Like when I did this video, I don't know, it was maybe a month ago, and I listened to this particular interview, and that's when I found out about the fake account. Well, I knew partially it was fake because of the guy Warbear who played the part in the movie that they did. Now the movie, well, I'm going to let them explain it, and then if I need to explain any more, I will. But I'm going to link Lana's little tidbit of her information that she was talking about the fact that, you know, they're all fake accounts and everything else, so that you can see exactly what they did. And knowing now that they knew about Bryan, Ellie, and who else, everybody. I mean, in my opinion, he was framed, so why wouldn't they know about him? They had it all planned. This was all planned. This is like, I've talked about this before. There's a movie called The Net, and it's got Sandra Bullock in it, and it's about identity theft. And that movie was so scary to me because of how easy it was for them to screw up her entire life. And she had a good life. She was smart. She had a good education. She had a good job. She had a really good job. In fact, I think she was like a cop or something. And this all came down on her that fast, the way this guy did it. And so, interestingly enough, I never thought about it till just now. It clicked that, being a criminology student, is this just a thing? I mean, and what it's with the other students in this type of area that have died there, allegedly by suicide. What is that all about? It's just all too coincidental. I mean, I believe sometimes in coincidences, but no, not like this. This is one after the other. I mean, and not even that far apart. I'm, think maybe 2 or 3 years down the road or something like that. But we're talking like a week, 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever. Quickly. Okay, I'm gonna let this play and I'm gonna stop yelling. Okay, hold on.
Which
That's a good segue.
because it also has to do with women ignorance. So, oh shit, I'm sweating. All right, so the Idaho allegations. Woo. Okay. Everyone's been wanting me to touch on the Idaho allegations, how it came to be, explain it, go into depth, all that good shit. And I will, and I'm going to. There was a page. There was a page called there was an influencer who was along the lines of like my type of influencer, just a very niche internet micro celebrity, and his name was Warbear. And there was a controversy around Warbear, and that controversy was he used like 10 round mags in a gun or something. I don't remember what it was about. It's like something weird. It was something gay like that, you know. When all the controversy came out, it turned this whole niche upside down. There was a bunch of stuff that happened, a bunch of like rumors circulating, a bunch of crazy shit. You know, all of the sphere and the span of this controversy that happened and surrounded Warbear, a page popped up, and it was a fake Warbear page. And this was around the time Warbear was like disappearing off the internet. He's still been off the internet since this controversy. but there was a fake warbear page that was very convincing. And that warbear page, he posted, whoever ran that warbear page, I thought it was warbear. I was like, oh, he made another page. Dude, thing got thousands of followers instantly, right? He posted, oh, I'm collabing with Faceless still. And warbear and I were planning a collab, and I was like, dog, you're gonna run my shit in the middle
Spoil
of
the fucking surprise.
No, I just didn't want him to run my shit in the middle of a controversy. Let's figure out what you're gonna do first, bro. It sounds like you're gonna escape the internet. And and you're still shouting out a collab. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that sounds like a weird thing to do.
So I was like, all right, dog. Like, I was trying to figure out what was happening, but warbear had that warbear page had one post, and the one post was the warbear goon tape collab, and it is a video of depicting warbear getting robbed and then beating the shit out of a guy at a ski mask. And he had tagged Faceless in that video. And then once everything died, I didn't say anything about the warbear stuff. Like, I didn't, that's my homie. I didn't want to. People were hitting me up and asking my opinion on it. I'm like, in the BMs, I was like, that's my homie. But on the fucking, on the outside, on the outside of it, I wasn't really making comments. I made like 2 memes. But everything died down. It's
like a lot of Instagram drama. I feel like that's the best decision to make. Just ignore it.
Next time, that taught me a lot. Next time, I'm actually gonna make sure that I should have 100% took a stand and stood up for warbear. Because afterwards, there was people who were taking a negative stand and saying like, dude, there was companies that he hadn't worked with in a year saying like, we don't stand for this. We won't. We want to cut all ties and make sure that everyone knows we're not associated with him anymore. And do you know what's fucking gayer than what warbear did?
What's that?
Taking a fucking stand and having to act like you're like don't associate with someone anymore. For what? You're a fucking...
Yeah.
That's way gayer than what warbear did. That's fucking gay, dude. So that really made me appreciate warbear a lot more. I was like, man, if that ever happens again, it's a homie. I'm gonna take a hard stand on that shit. I don't give a fuck. So,
hey guys, remember when I was cool with him, but then he did all that stuff, and yeah, he's not cool anymore. I'm not cool with him.
I don't stand for that.
Yeah.
Me personally, I wouldn't stand for that.
I only do cool stuff.
Yeah,
I don't do any lame shit. Okay.
Yeah. So
any lame shit that happens with him, don't count that with me, because
in the future or anything.
Moving forward.
So that page was still around for a few months, and then I remember I come out of this meeting with this company, this AR pistol company, and I check my phone, and it's just hundreds and hundreds of follows and messages saying, "Are you the accomplice?" And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
The guy?
And then a bunch of stupid, fucking boneheaded, bunch of boneheaded retards, bunch of Reddit detective mommies with bunch of Reddit detective mommies with fucking huge jugs harassing me and just
real honkers, real honga longa no gongers,
dude. They're harassing me, and a lot of them are sending hate mail and fucking telling me that I'm a piece of shit and all this stuff. And I'm reading through them like, what the fuck is going on?
Where were you on the night of the stabbing?
100%. This whole Idaho. Well, in Idaho. So this is what happened. I finally click on the page.
Okay, so wait a second, you guys. So this I find really interesting because he went along with it. So I find it kind of, I don't know, kind of weird the way he's doing this. But I haven't heard this yet, so I guess I'll finish listening to it, and then I'll show you some of the stuff that I've got.
That's linked to me somehow, and I open it up and I look, and there's this page. And what had happened was that day, a few hours earlier, they had found there was some killings that had happened in Idaho. There was like a brutal stabbing of 4 college girls in their dorm room or their dorm house or whatever in Idaho.
Right.
Some guy came in, fucking stabbed the shit out of him, dipped, and then he disappeared. And I guess it had gone on for months. So there was a bunch of like
who's out there, Sonny?
I'm trying to discover the different
someone blowing smoke under the door,
like who the murderers were. And there was like these girls
Hi.
live streamed a lot of their life, so there was a lot of like room for them to become detectives. Are you good? Oh, okay. So they there was a lot of like build up to this, and then the second he was found, the name came out. The second he was arrested, the news came out and said it's a guy named Bryan Christopher Kohberger. This guy who had made the fake warbear page, fucking genius, dude. Changes the fucking name instantly and nabs up Bryan Christopher Kohberger on Instagram, sets it to private, and then does a bunch of like makes it look like it's that guy's page. He gets just
Wow.
thousands and thousands of requests, right? Or no, he had it on public. The reason I was linked to it is he left the warbear video up with me tagged in it and a ski mask, and my name is Faceless. So I'm in the video, and when Bryan Christopher Kohberger got arrested, his only question, or his first question was anyone else arrested? So that's why it exploded. Is there was a whole like, there's an accomplice. There's an accomplice, right?
And then they look at that Instagram that was tagged. And he's like, he still left a video up. There's one person tagged in there.
Mm-hmm.
Video tag accomplice.
Murderer.
Video, tag accomplice.
Murderer.
Tag video accomplice Faceless. You did it.
Let's ruin this nigga's life. So naturally, I sit there and I think
Well, I do have to say that I'm very glad I watched this before I put my other part of the video out, which has been made for a long time, so it's already made right up in CapCut. But I figured I'd do a little bit looking, because I hadn't even thought about even putting it up at all. But so I wanted to do a little more research, see if anything else was put out there, and boy, am I glad I did. And I'm glad I played this first. I will show you some of the other stuff though. Meanwhile, onward.
second, and I decide to I decide, you know what, fuck this. I archived every video on my page except for a very specific one that I'll play for you guys. That's me chasing a woman through a parking lot.
Hey, how's it going? How you doing tonight? Did you just get off work? Why are you backing up? I just wanted to see if you wanted an escort to your car over there. Why are you backing up? Oh, you're scared of me, huh? Ooh, you're scared of me. Once I shoot you. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
And then, because Bryan Christopher Kohberger, I looked it up real quick. He went to Washington State University. I changed my bio to WSU alumni Go Cougars. And dude, the internet went fucking wild.
They fucking blow up.
Dude,
blew the
it
fuck
was
up on
so
you.
dude. There was fucking just. Dude, over the next few days, that video blew up over 500,000 views.
I think it made it to like Twitter, didn't it?
It made it to Twitter. It made it to Reddit. And everyone's just, who the fuck is Faceless? Who the fuck is Faceless? Just freaking the fuck out. And dude, I got so much hate mail. People like trying to just find me and figure out who I am. And one of the funniest parts is around New Year's. I got hit up by like a news reporter, and they were like, "Hey, I just want to check in. You know, they're all nice to you. You know, I just want to see what's going on. You know, how are you?" And I'm like, I would every person that was like a serious inquiry like a reporter or something, I would send them something super vague, like
really cryptic.
Very cryptic. I sent her nothing much. Just had to head out of town for the New Year's. I'm tying up some loose ends. ... Dude, she fucking
ate that shit up.
Dude. So they fucking man. It became a whole psyop. It became a fucking. They were all. And the funniest thing is just this has to do with women ignorance, where someone sent me a link to the Boston Marathon bombing, and they go, "Hey, I really appreciate what you're doing with this," and just shitting, because I basically set my other profile that has like 15,000 followers, 14-something thousand followers on private, and I communicated through all of my followers on there, just showing all the stupidity. The funny thing is, I thought the guy was like, "Man, I really appreciate what you're doing," because what if this was a guy who just had a normal account and some dude who's a troll tagged him in there? And the dude's actually cool. He hit me up, and the dude who made the page hit me up, and he was like, "Hey, sorry if you get death threats." I was like,
Dude, I'm fucking Faceless. You think I love this? I live for this shit. I fucking love it.
So, I played into it, and then the guy sends me a link. The other dude that hit me up, he sends me a link, and he says this happened to a guy with the Boston Marathon bombing or something like that. He says a bunch of detectives, a bunch of internet detective sleuths, fucking harassed and ruined his life, and that's what made me go so hard on it. Was I was like, you know what, dude, I'm fucking faceless. I'm a nobody. I have nothing behind me. I'm no like bones in my closet, and I can really just fuck with these people. And I did. I posted memes. I posted cryptic shit. I left highlights up that had the most like horrible cryptic memes on there. Just like there was one that says, because the guy followed him home from a party. There's one that says, when you invite Faceless to a party, and it says, sure, you could come to the party, just don't be weird. And it says Faceless at 3 a.m. in the party. And it's just like the shredded out dude with a mask on standing there. So I left memes like that up. I'll post them. But they were like, what does this mean? And then it says POV, and then it's like a mouth with like toes going into the mouth. It looks like I'm eating toes. And that shit was just great. And then
Trying to like take meaning and significance out of nothing.
Yeah, I just made them hyper focus on me for a week.
This can go both ways. Like, I can see how he'd be, weirded out about it and get him back or whatever, but he bankrolled on the Idaho 4. And it's just like, I'm not saying he's not the only one. I mean, there's, look at the dude writing the book, and I'm sure there's a movie coming out. I mean, you name it. There's going to be all sorts of stuff, but the way he did it, I think, is, I don't know. It's one of those things that, man. Because I remember reading his stuff, and I didn't know any of this before, right? I did see the interview with that guy he's talking about, with Warbear. And Warbear had just... I'll go into it after this. I'll tell you about it after this, but it was wild. Because Faceless was just driving around in his truck. And all of a sudden, he's got Warbear... He's talking to Warbear. He's sitting in his truck, and he's got him on a feed, And he had just come back into town because he had been out of town because people were literally thinking he was the murderer. So it was really weird. I don't know why. I don't know how I got this. I don't know how I happened upon it. It's just weird. But I always knew that was a fake account because there's like 3 guys that work out on the account, and at least one of them is gay, which is like a no big deal, but. And then it's got a whole bunch of TikTok girls, hottie TikTok girls and stuff. And then it's got Kelley, Xana, and Madison. And it wasn't right. And then it had that one video. And the video, I have it somewhere on my phone. I did record it. I don't know if he's going to play it on here or not, but it's that Warbear driving to a gas station, and he's got a big black truck, which also made it really weird. And he stops, he gets out and starts to pump or washes windows or something like that. And a guy comes running around and grabs him to steal his truck. And the other guy, Warbear, grabs a tire iron and starts beating the living crap out of him. And leaves him bloody mess on the ground there. And then the cops pull up, and then Warbear just holds his hands up and surrenders. And that's like the last of the video. But they're saying on Kohberger, like when the guy made that Bryan site, what they did when he did that, he left that as the only video on Bryan's account on that site. So he was alluding that Bryan, basically beat the crap out of someone with a tire iron, or was into LARPing, because this is what this is. This is LARPing. It's live action role play, and there's all different kinds of LARPing. I'm talking all different kinds. And I posted one quite a while ago, and that was kind of like a medieval type one. And the guy said he had a blast. So, and it sounded like he did. He sounded like a really cool guy. But there's also very aggressive ones like this one, and it looked real. I mean, they were really good. But too bad that Warbear is pretty cute. Too bad he's not around anymore. Anyway, yeah, so he's still running. That's crazy. Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to finish this, and then we'll see what's going down.
And they couldn't do shit, and that That's the best part about it is that I grew up with fucking 5 brothers. We all grew up fighting, and I was the second youngest. And growing up with brothers who actually trained BJJ, wrestling, boxing, just mean motherfuckers, dude. You can't be, dude. You're the second youngest. You can't fight against them. You can fight. You could beat the fuck out of other dudes on the street, but your brothers, they've been there around longer. They know more than you. They can fuck you up. I had to learn how to I had to build a castle of mental fortitude, because if I couldn't fight them, I had to be able to fuck with them. You know, and that was my fighting, was being able to fuck with my brothers mentally and like just like get them and like find things, you know, because we'd all pick on each other, but that was one of the things that built me for this prowess that I have of being a fucking dude. It got all over the place. Like someone sent me recently, just a few weeks ago, while I was at SHOT Show, they sent me I was on Snapchat News. That whole page was
Oh
insane.
my
And it
God,
showed
Snapchat
me and like,
News.
and who is faceless, dude? It's so funny. The guy eventually, he hit me up. He goes, "Hey, this shit's leaking way too much into my personal life. People were following somehow IP address. You know, he didn't have a VPN. Somehow they fucking linked his personal life to it and all this other shit. And so he's like, I just took it down. So he took it down. And the funny thing is, he's still running psyops though. He's changing names. He's doing a bunch of different shit. He's like changing different. You know, every time something comes up, he changes a name and he links me to it somehow. It's fucking awesome, dude. It's hilarious. I can't tell people about the one that's going on right now until probably the next Scumcast. But there's one that's happening right now. If I check my phone after this, there's probably 1,000 follow requests, dude. It's so funny. It was so much shit. There's so much memes about it. And I knew I was fine because I'm in fucking California. I don't give a shit. You know, I'm fine. I wasn't in Idaho. So everyone wanted me to touch on the Idaho allegations. That's the Idaho allegations. So me and Grips,